Hello, Facebook Ads people. I'm Konstantinos, and this is the Facebook Ads Breaking News Podcast. Hello, Facebook Ads people. Another podcast. So, today, mostly we're going to talk about your questions that you sent to me through YouTube and my group. Other people send me through mail and stuff. I would prefer, to be honest with you, if you all do through comments on YouTube. Or in the group, I guess, because as you can understand, the channel is growing and more people are sending stuff, and I feel like I will not be able in the future to keep up with all of that, because don't forget that I also have to manage accounts. So, of course, if you have a question, go to any of my YouTube videos and ask, but I would prefer if we keep it there. Just so that you can understand, because we had the interview with Scott Degoselier, from Wikid Reports, I have right now 38 questions that I need to answer, and this is not all of the questions, it's just questions that I handpicked, and I believe that they make sense. Before we go to the questions, I would like to say some things just a little bit fast. Today we don't have a main topic for the podcast, but we do have a lot of questions, which is going to be general topics which are going to help you, I guess, to understand more Facebook ads. First of all, I would like to talk a little bit about the situation in February. February was a very difficult month. We had some bad results across accounts, and this is not coming only from me, but from several other people that they are running ad accounts. And to be honest with you, I don't know if it's the inflation or something related to Facebook. Let me tell you what I mean. Facebook is like, it's a platform that is always being influenced by things that are happening worldwide, like the inflation, like people being afraid because of what happened with the SVB bank, or watching these people on YouTube talk about the new crash that is coming, and all of that. So it's like a market which is being influenced by that. And yes, a lot of times there are people that they make these dramatic videos that they make the situation even worse. Now we have the Credit Suisse, the bank in Switzerland, and all of the drama that's happening there. Don't forget that they just closed the deal of 2 billion of USB or UBS buying the Credit Suisse for 2 billion. Sorry. If it was 2 million, most probably I would buy it on my own. But for 2 billion, and they did all of that on the weekend so that they cannot panic the market. And then you have all of these idiots that they go and they make a YouTube video and they just panic the market anyway. Or some people that they are just enjoying it because they can make money out of it. Who knows? So the situation is that I believe that the start that this is what it was influencing. Facebook having a little bit more bad results, and you will see also in the comments that I'm going to comment in a little bit that there are people that they say I had this kind of results on February, and then on March I had a lot of issues with my results. My cost per lead, my cost per purchase doubled, the CPM skyrocketed, and everything. So I have done after that a consulting call with somebody from Iraq, and he told me exactly the same thing. So I started thinking that Iraq is not going to be influenced by the American market. So most probably this is something that has to do with Facebook. Then one of my friends, when we were discussing, he told me that no, because the economies are linked together. So this is what I call the paranoia level that you get when things are not going well with Facebook. I believe that it's Facebook related. He believes that it's all about the economy. The good news is that in the this weekend that passed, these 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, were very bad. Monday, a little bit bad. And then we had 2 good days. I'm not sure yet about yesterday. I haven't seen all of the results because I'm doing the podcast. But this podcast is being shot on Thursday, and we're going to upload it on Friday. So I believe that Wednesday was a little bit slow. I don't know what's going to happen with Thursday, but we can talk about it the next week. It looks like it's recovering. And to be honest with you, in this period, I could see the big accounts not struggling so much, except from these 3 days on the weekend, and the smaller accounts struggling a lot the whole month. So the trained pixels they needed less effort in order to cover that. And of course, when you see this across several accounts, I have the luxury of doing that. I know that it's just a general thing, so I don't panic, I don't start closing ads and stuff, and I just let them, and I was right because they just recovered after some period. There's nothing that you can do when Facebook doesn't want to give you ROAS or they're doing a change on the algorithm or whatever. Another interesting thing that I want to say before we move is that these things are happening all the time with Facebook, and you have to be okay with that because this is just how the platform works. And of course, you should not panic. You should need to have someone who is going to consult you and tell you that this is a situation across accounts and so on. And another thing that I want to mention is that I was having a discussion with one of my clients. He's in Germany, and he told me that whenever this thing is happening, I'm just seeing very strange advertisements. So my interests are on jewelry and stuff like that. So I see this kind of normal ads. And whenever we have these periods of Facebook not giving proper results, I can see, for example, strollers for babies while I'm not even married, for example, and I see this kind of stupid targeting to myself. So for him, and as people that we do Facebook ads, we love conspiracy theories always, this is the way that he's seeing or understanding when something is bad with Facebook and it's not doing its work properly. Now, that's with the news. About the Wikit reports, I hope that you like the interview. I hope that it explains a little bit of how these programs are working. I did all the questions that I wanted to do without, holding something. And I think that you got a very good idea of how they work and if you want to use them or not. Based on the fact that we have this kind of data missing and everything, I saw a message recently. Most probably you will see it in all of your accounts. It says allow Meta to use message activity data. This is the picture here. Meta uses data about messages from ads, such as the number of messages exchanged, to improve ad optimization. This ensures that your ads reach the most relevant audience, which leads to more meaningful conversations with potential customers. What I want to say here is that I think that you should press next and accept that, and you should use it, because the more data it has, the more it's going to help you. Now, the other thing that I want to say about that is that based on the fact that this is about messages and the messages that you, what does it say here? Such a number of messages exchanged to improve optimization. I guess the messages not in your Facebook page, or maybe the messages that you're getting, it would say comments. Okay, so if you're getting messages from that. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that you should try to put next, click the next button and stuff and accept it, because the more data, the better. One thing here. If you see that the messages that you are getting, they are negative because they are confused from your copy, they are saying something, whatever, that means that you should do another ad, because this means based on that Facebook is going to use this data to find similar people. And if these similar people don't like the product like the initial people, then you're going to have many issues. So it's not only about the data that you get, but the quality of the data that you get, and if these people, they really like your product or not. So be careful also on that. It's the same thing that we say about the comments on the posts, that guys, you need to monitor the comments on the post, and if you have negative engagement, you should either stop the ad, change it, whatever, or you should try to manage them, answer, or you should try to hide them, whatever, in order for you not to spread the negativity, because more and more and more negative comments will come, and the ad is going to have very good engagement. Facebook is going to think that it's a good ad, but it's going to be a negative ad, and it's going to have popularity because of the negativity. Now, another thing that I have here is that I have one big news here, which is that I'm doing there's a new Meta program. This is running in Germany right now. I have it in a German account, that Meta gave 15K on credit for 1 month, so that we can use pictures that they're going to be made through an AI. And by that, what do I mean? So this is the first image that we have. It's the white background, and then we have another one which is with a velvet background, a purple velvet background, and then another one with a black background, and then another one which is with some crystal type background. This is just an example of some. Of course, we have I believe 15 samples, and then we have another 15 velvet, another 15 rock diamond style background. This has been created with DALL-E 2. DALL-E 2 is an AI which is creating backgrounds, and it's from OpenAI. Just I'm reading here. What did they said about product overview? As our advertisers adopt new products like Advantage Plus shopping campaigns, we will see a need for increased amounts of assets to support these campaigns, and creative production may become a challenge, particularly for DR catalog focused clients. Meta is developing an internal AI creative tool that will generate backgrounds and give situational context to catalog images. So, this is just a test that Meta is running so that it can put it on all the catalogs. For example, what am I saying here? The structure is going to be very simple. We're going to have 3 Advantage Plus campaign. One is going to be the white background, another one is going to be the velvet background, and another one, Advantage Plus, is going to be the crystal style background. So what Facebook is going to do with that is that it's going to test if it's working or not, so that it can eventually go and say, okay, you have a catalog with 50 items. We will let you use it in Advantage Plus as a catalog, but we can make this catalog having 1,000 items with different backgrounds that are going to be generated with DALL-E 2, which is an AI tool for background and stuff. I think it looks interesting. Of course, I'm going to create a video after I'm done with it and explain to you. I just gave you also these pictures just so that you can understand how it looks. And sure, we're going to see in the future how that goes, and I will keep you informed about that. Now, some things before we go to your questions. First of all, one of my friends was looking about a TikTok advertiser, and we realized something. After 2 months, there is a huge gap in the market for actual working TikTok accounts. And what I'm trying to say is that, for example, there is one account that I'm getting 6 ROAS with Facebook with high spend, 100 to 200K. And in TikTok, it barely does 1.8 in a very difficult rate. So whoever is talking about TikTok being a revolutionary platform and all of these kiddos coming out and they have agencies about TikTok and stuff, I have to say one thing. TikTok is not ready yet. And don't compare it with Facebook yet. I'm going to be one of the first people that is going to say that TikTok is working when I see it working. But in these 2 months, we were looking for a person to have an actual case study with some decent ROAS. And the best ROAS that we found, it was 2.5 or 3. And to be honest with you, I don't think that we can compare pears with apples, because Facebook is far more powerful. Maybe TikTok is going to become more powerful, but right now it's not. And I could see it because I was looking for someone who has decent case studies with that, with actual spends and everything. And even with agencies and stuff, we didn't find something solid. And a lot of people told us that 2 is very good for TikTok. So this is one of the reasons that I don't like to focus on CPMs and everything, because at the end of the day, the companies are paying us through the return on ad spend that they get. So I believe there is a huge gap still on TikTok, and this is my experience after 2 months. There is a Meta advertisement right now which is running, and it's calling people to go to the Meta group for experts doing Facebook ads. I'm not going to join that because I'm sure that it's going to be full of idiots that they have no idea of what they're doing. And I believe that decent people and decent advertisers are not going to go there just because it's a waste of time. And secondly, I would have to buy a lot of drops for my eyes just to recover from the stupid things that I'm going to see there. Another thing is I got a mail which is called about, I will give you just the title of the mail, the subject of the mail. It says, maximize your ad performance through automation and account consolidation. Live Meta education. So the two things that I have a problem with. So Meta wants to do lives, educating people on how to do automations and account consolidation. I really understand the concept of Meta trying to explain the platform as an easy way of somebody doing ads. But the sad truth is that that after iOS 14.5 changes, Meta became super complex, and you cannot just do simple things. Therefore, immediately I can see that it's trying to push the concept that this is a lazy job, while it's not, and it needs a lot of effort and a lot of strategies and problems and that. And I got a message from one or two people watching a podcast. There was a guy that he was saying that most agencies are making three campaigns, which I have seen it also. It's going to be one retargeting, one ABO testing where they spend enormous amount of money, and another one which is going to be a cold traffic. And they don't do anything else. And this guy said that I'm doing 100 campaigns with $60, $70 on each one of them, and I'm spending all of my money like that. I'm guessing that he's spending 6K per day or something like that, and he's having good ROAS. Well, I'm saying this for the past 3 years. Of course, I don't have this famous podcast that this guy told it, but yeah, I'm doing it for the past 3 years, and he's right. It's not something that we didn't know. And I don't know if I'm sure about the 100 campaigns, but spending 6K, you can easily have 20 campaigns, 25. Now, if he wants to do it with less, okay. The only thing that I want to mention here is that the ad accounts, they also have behaviors. Maybe his ad account is now trained on $50, $60 campaigns, and he's always doing that, which is totally fine. Even if I would go to his account, I wouldn't change it. I would do it, whatever it works. But I totally agree, and I see more and more people coming out and talking about the fact that consolidation doesn't work while Facebook wants to push it. And what I really cannot understand is this. Why Facebook wants to push consolidation? I can understand the agencies pushing consolidation because they want to do less work and have more clients. Fine. But I don't understand why Facebook is pushing consolidation. Is it trying to make the platform super easy for everybody to do ads so that it can be easy and take out the cost of hiring an expert so that they can do it and they can spend this money on the platform? I don't really understand it. I will never understand it. And based on the fact that they talk also about automations and stuff on how to do it, I truly believe that it's all about trying to make the platform super easy for everybody to use. But guess what? It's not easy because somebody has to take also somebody to put their API if they're not using Shopify and so on. So there are more things that happened after the iOS 14.5, and I didn't work with consolidation before. I'm not working now, of course, but you get my point. Be careful to what you see on other channels because there are people that they say, this is what Meta said. F*** off. If Meta said something like that, it doesn't mean that it's always true. Have you tested it? I really hate, and this is the reason that I'm never going to join a Meta group, because it's always going to be somebody saying that this is what Meta says in the rules or whatever. The rules. If you're seeing something different into your ad account, and if it's working in a different way, if you are observing something different, don't follow what Meta says. Anyway, I think I lost a lot of time already on these. Let's go to your questions straight away. Before we start, I have two questions here that I have seen. First guy says, Konstantinos Liadis, can you make a video about Advantage Plus shopping? And he's laughing. I hope that you are joking, because I have already made 6 or 7 videos and I'm making more, and I'm going to make a new one. If you are mocking me for creating several Advantage Plus videos, fine. If you haven't seen them, you have to go and watch them. I was talking in another video about personal accounts and how I believe that because now we have personal Facebook accounts and Meta is pushing the concept of having also professional accounts, which I believe that it's a very clever idea for Meta to have more new accounts, which means increase on the stock. There's a guy on the comments. Okay, bro, you said good time to buy, so I bought some options for November. So guys, don't watch the things that they say and go buy stocks of Facebook because you just expect. If it was like that, then I have to put a disclaimer that whatever I say here, it's not. I'm not a financial advisor and so on. All the things that you have seen the disclaimers. Let's go to the next question. Hello, dear Konstantinos. Jordan again with some questions about the training. Jordan is a very nice guy. I really like him, and he's having some good questions. What I really like is that Jordan is on the course, on the paid course, and the way that he's thinking now and he's answering stuff is completely different. He says, I see that one product, I make a lot of sales, especially on weekends, with a budget of 1,000. I generate between 4,000 and 5,500, and that's pretty good. But during the week, with the same budget, only 1,500 to 3,000 depending on the day, sometimes I just break even. I could see that sometimes you manage accounts where you drastically increase the budget when companies have special offers, for example. How do you manage the campaigns at that time? Do you create a lot of new ones just for the promotion and then cut them when the promotion is over? The answer is yes. You are having your established base with campaigns. When they do a promotion, these are extra. When the promotion is over, you cut them and you continue with those. And always, when somebody is doing a promotion, you're putting also some new evergreen campaigns. Evergreen means that you're putting campaigns that they can stay forever. Basically, they have a general copy, general images and stuff that you can use forever. And so that you can take also the data from the offer. But we're talking about massive accounts, okay? But even in an account with your spend 1,000, 2,000, I would do that. I would put in every offer that I have as a promotion, I would put also some evergreen campaigns so that I can use them after the offer because they are going to be flooded with data. And then he says, if so, is it possible to apply this to weekends? Also, I'd like to know if I should do something special like lower the budget for the week, raise it again on the weekends, but I'm afraid that it would completely disrupt the campaigns and be harmful. Thanks for the clarification. So, about that, let me tell you that what I believe is that you need to have a base. You need to have a base, something that you find that it's very easy for you to maintain, okay? And maybe later Facebook is going to let you increase this limit, but for now, let's say that this base is 800, 700. This base is going to stay like this no matter what. You're going to keep it for the whole 7 days. Even if you have a bad day, you're just going to absorb the damage and you're going to evaluate your results in the 7 days. It's not a faucet that you open and close. You need to fueling with data. And you cannot just go and lower the budget, increase the budget, lower the budget, increase the budget. Eventually, you're going to break the campaign. So you need to have some campaigns that are working and establish them as a base. After that, if you want to spend more on weekend, you can do not a new campaign, but you can have some campaigns that you increase and you lower. Whenever they die because of this behavior, you're just going to relaunch them. But you're going to have your base of 700, 800, and you're going to play with something else. Maybe one campaign that has very good results, and you know that if you relaunch it, it's going to work again. This is how I would approach it, and no, I wouldn't close or lower the budget on the weekdays. Especially in your case, most of the people, they want to lower the budget on weekends, which is 2 days. Maybe we can work with that. But in your case, lowering the budget for 5 days, then increasing it again on weekend and stuff, I think it's going to be problematic. 2 days only on weekend just to launch a campaign. For 2 days, it doesn't make any sense. So I think that what I proposed earlier makes sense, and you should use that. It's another way of looking at it, actually. I think I answered to him that. My view of media buying has changed a lot with your course, and I feel that my view of e-commerce will also change. Thank you for that. I have hardly ever had a loss-making day in the last year, and for me, it was always about being profitable. But I guess sometimes you have to accept that from one day per week to the next, you have to go from ROAS 5 to ROAS 1. Also, the situation in France is not great at the moment. Of strikes, I guess that's also why the results during the week are not so good. But I guess sometimes you have to accept that from one day or week to the next, you have to go from a ROAS of 5. No, you should not go from 5 ROAS to 1. you can maintain it. If you see that you're dropping to 1 ROAS in these days, you lower the budget. You go back to your normal ROAS, you increase the budget after that. Another interesting question, I think. Let's say I have 10 outperforming interests in the last 7 days, 5 of which are the same. For example, fishing, following the crazy method. All 10 have a ROAS of 5 to 15 with quite a few sales, say between 5 and 10 each. Can I duplicate each of these ad sets in 10 new campaigns with a crazy method and relaunch for the next day, 10 campaigns of 100 example, or is this maybe too rushed and horizontal scaling too aggressive? Yes, I think it's too aggressive. What I would do is this. I would launch with my normal budget because also most probably right now you have into your mind how many ad sets you need with what kind of CBO budget. So you have something like this into your head. So what I would do is I will take my best one. What does the best mean? Not best ROAS, ROAS and volume. Something that brings you the ROAS that you want, but also volume. I would take the best one. I would do crazy method. I would see if I could optimize it if it's working. Then second best again and again. And I will move like that, building it up. Because doing so many campaigns at the same time, it doesn't make any sense because you might push too much the threshold of the account and maybe you're not going to test properly. So this is what I would do. I would do it one by one, optimize, then if it's working the other one, and I will always try to keep another campaign which is doing, which I'm having interest there, so that I can start testing for more candidates for my crazy method. Another one. Hey Konstantinos, I hope you're well. First of all, I wanted to talk to you because I was able to really increase my ROAS since I started doing the crazy method. Thank you. I've been able to go from a free failing ROAS to an average of 5 ROAS on a budget of 700, 800 a day. In campaign optimization, there are a few things I don't understand. I see that you always base your campaigns on 7 days, but what do you do when you see a free falling ROAS on all campaigns at the same time for 3-4 days? I watched the video several times and I don't think that you're talking about that. If you could enlighten me, it would be great because that's what happens and I feel like I'm losing too much on the profits maybe. It's not a tracking problem. All my campaigns track sales well. It is really necessary to always use the last 7 days. Yes, it is. Also, I optimize my campaigns with commonly based on UTMs. This is your mistake. You should not optimize with a third party. You should optimize with what you see on the Facebook ads. This is what data Facebook is using to optimize. And sometimes Facebook will give sales to ad sets that actually didn't make any and vice versa. How would you optimize the campaigns, UTM or Facebook? Facebook. Example, commonly ROAS 2 interest on commonly with 2 sales on Facebook, the same interest with 0 sales. Should I leave it because I know it still makes sales? In my opinion, no. If you see that it has checkouts, you can leave it maybe in case that it's going to give late reporting. But if it has 0 sales, no, don't leave it because it has 0 data for Facebook. We had the previous interview with Wicked Reports. I told all that in the previous interview. The same interest with Tirosana. I don't know if I could cut it because I know it. I know in the end it didn't make any sales, but since Facebook it did want that send the wrong signals to Facebook. Yeah, I think that when I later on scan more, I will take a coaching with you. Thanks for your time. All the best to you, Jordan. So these were the questions from Jordan, and I think that I answered everything. To be honest with you, I think that if you watch the whole interview with Scott on the previous podcast, I think that you will understand more. Let's go on some more. Basically, this is a message that I got. It says, he's talking about shop ads. To be honest with you, I hate shop ads. They don't work well. Facebook wants to push them again. I don't know why. Same. I dropped 40k in shop ads. Huge issues with forced creatives. They think they've stumbled upon something better. It's awful. Average cost of purchase for 9 was 222 lol. Normal ads. 5 to 45 worst case. So you're not the only one, Donovan. There are a lot of people that they have a lot of issues with shop ads. This is why nobody is doing them. I have videos in my channel that even for the previous year, I was doing 1 million spend and another one with 300k spend. They didn't work. Now, maybe in the future we will use them, but it looks like they don't. The whole idea is that you keep all the data within Facebook so that you can have them and not lose any data. But to be honest with you, the Facebook shops and Instagram shops are not converting very well. It was a good idea, but I think that it needs optimization in terms from the algorithm in order to make it work. Right now, it doesn't work. Don't toss your money to shop campaigns. Not even the website and shop, just website. There's another message. Hello, finally, got Advantage Plus shopping yesterday. Really looking forward to scaling with your advice. Thanks again for sending all the content. Also, let me know if you're accepting Mendes. What I wanted to say, the reason that I put this comment is because I'm seeing more and more accounts getting the Advantage Plus, which is very good. The thing here is this. The Advantage Plus, just so you know, all of you, it's not something that you can contact the customer support and give you access to, give you the Advantage Plus into your account. It's something that's going to come slowly to accounts. A lot of times I'm discussing with people and we try to find patterns if it is a way for us to push Facebook to give us Advantage Plus. I found nothing. 2 weeks ago, I believe that I did that into my into one of my accounts, and it just came out of the blue without doing nothing. So I haven't found any crazy recipe of doing it. The only thing that I can say is that to be honest with you, by being a good boy and paying your bills and stuff, most probably eventually you're going to have Advantage Plus, and I hope that you do because it's working very well right now. Let's go to the question of Simon Turco. Hello everyone, quick question related to Facebook ad account. Does the ad account learn or it is only the pixel and the ad set? Example, I have two business managers. Let's call them business manager 1 and business manager 2. In business manager 1, I have one ad account in which I spent of a couple of euros and one campaign is performing really well. Let's imagine that my business manager got banned, but I was able to share the same pixel on another ad account of business manager 2. By the way, this is something that a lot of people do as a backup plan, because as soon as a business manager is going to be banned, you can do nothing. So sharing the pixel already there, maybe it's going to help and you can still operate, not all of the times still. And another thing, if you see that your rating is dropping on the page, create many pages and start running from other pages instead of using the same one. If I create a campaign in one ad account in Business Manager 2, using the shared pixel of Business Manager 1, will I, as soon as the asset will get data, obtain similar results to the campaign that was performing in Business Manager 1? Or should I create a new pixel and start from zero? Thanks a lot. First of all, you should not create a new pixel immediately. You should try it. And you should see. From my personal experience, I was having ad accounts that were having limits of 20, 30, 40K, 50K spent. And because I wanted to spend more daily on these accounts, I was doing other ad accounts on the same business manager and on different business manager. The results are this. The ad account, which is the main ad account, spending all of this money, it's always having the best results. Okay, so the other ones, they have exactly the same ads and stuff. You spend 10K there, and the other one which spends 50K has better results from the one that spends 10K. Period on that. So that means that the ad accounts also get trained. It's not only about the pixels. This is how I came up to the conclusion that they get trained. And then I had some experience with ad accounts that they were working only with lifetime budget just because this person was doing only campaigns with lifetime budget and so on. So I wouldn't expect it to work as well as in the first business manager or ad account. I would try it before doing a new pixel. To be honest with you, I wouldn't do a new pixel. I would just expect to have lower results on the second business manager account and the best results on my main business manager account. Now, if you want to go with the option of second pixel and stuff, you need to think also that you're putting 2 pixels into your funnel, which I think that Facebook penalizes it as a behavior. You not have 2 or 3 or 4 pixels in the same site. And also then you have the aggregated events where your domain is going to be linked in one. It's going to be linked in one domain. So all the aggregated events will be in one business manager and you cannot do it in another. So maybe you can put 2 pixels there if you just keep 4 spots and 4 spots without the value optimization. And anyway, it's too technical. Let's continue. Hi, I have some campaigns running that was selling with a nice CPA ROAS Advantage Plus, but suddenly it almost stopped selling. My CPA was about 70 and now it's 200. Oh, it's normal to Advantage Plus stop selling. Yes, of course, normal. To any campaign, it's normal to stop selling. You just have to relaunch it. You just have to optimize it. How should I analyze and know when to stop this campaign and create a new? Based on the last 7 days, if you're experienced, you can watch also metrics based on last 3 days. I rarely mention the last 3 days because most of you are not experienced to do it and you're going to make bad decisions. But I also look the last 3 days, 2 days. I look the tendency, especially in this period, in this weekend of 3 days. I was watching the 3 days ratio and what I could do, lowering the budget a little bit to control the situation, because obviously I didn't know if it's going to hold 3 days or 5 days. So yeah, this is what I would do. And in a new account, can I use the same ads or should I use new ads? You can use the same ads, you can see, and you have to test what is working. In my opinion, in whatever I do, for example, I don't do a new pixel because I want to see if the old is working. I don't do new ads because I want to see if the olds are working. Whatever I have seen working, I want to use it again and again. Then we have below an answer. Yes, damn to normal. Advantage Plus requires a wide range of creatives and budget as of now. That's what I have observed so far. It gives results initially, but they drop massively after some period. Stop. The fact that you're seeing that, so it's not that I don't like it. He's sharing his own experience, but don't speak in a way that you are saying that this is happening with all accounts. Okay? Say, in my account, what I'm doing this and that, when I'm doing this and that, blah, blah. So, it says, don't rely on Advantage Plus until you have good pixel data and a big budget. If you have both, you can scale your campaigns to increase ROAS. If not, I suggest you to go with CBO. As for ads, keep using the winning one. Scale them with social proof if you can. Now, the situation here is that he's talking about his ad account. I can tell you that there are new ad accounts that are working immediately with Advantage Plus. It is possible. What I'm trying to say is that do Advantage Plus. If it's working and it's dying, relaunch it. What he's trying to say is that we have broad targeting in Advantage Plus. For example, he's not covering even, but he's just one of my viewers. Okay, he never learned how to talk in a general talk, because, for example, somebody from Switzerland is watching this and he can do Advantage Plus immediately because the potential reach over there with broad targeting is small. He's talking most probably for United States that the broad Advantage Plus targeting needs a trained pixel, so it's better to go with CBO campaigns, interests, and so on. Use them, then lookalikes, and then go to Advantage Plus. Let's check all of the different cases. If your targeting is small in a country, you can go immediately to Advantage Plus. There are also accounts that they work immediately with Advantage Plus because they have organic sales already. And they have some data in the pixel, or even accounts that I kickstarted, they worked immediately with Advantage Plus because they had lower CPMs and it helped them work with the competition. If Advantage Plus is not working at all, yes, you should go to CBO, you should go to interests, you should go to lookalikes after that, and so on. But always the ultimate goal, it would be to reach the broad targeting, even if this is CBO, even if this is Advantage Plus. Let me tell you that there are other accounts that Advantage Plus, it is not working. So we do only CBO there. So there are many different cases, and I think that what I want you to keep from that is that, yes, Advantage Plus can easily die, and it's not an issue. You're just going to relaunch it. Then having such a different budget means that yes, it lost optimization. It is very typical with new pixels for this to happen, because the new pixels might lose optimization super fast, so you can relaunch them. It's fine. And then if you have a new pixel, it doesn't mean that Advantage Plus cannot work. You can go to Advantage Plus. If it doesn't work, go there. Don't forget that your biggest tool over here with new pixels and Advantage Plus is the relaunch of the campaigns, because it's going to help you a lot. Then we go to the next comment. Great content, thank you. With success of Advantage Plus shopping, how are you allocating budgets between Advantage Plus and dynamic creative campaigns? It really depends. If I see that my CBO campaigns, my crazy method and everything is working properly, I keep pushing the concept maybe on 50-50. Maybe if I want to scale, it also depends on the scaling. If I want to scale more and more, I use something like 70-30 on Advantage Plus. That means that I will use almost zero retargeting because Advantage Plus is stealing all of the retargeting. But if you go to big budgets, maybe you can go only with Advantage Plus after some point and move up with Advantage Plus only because it's easier. Okay, can you do it with CBOs? Yes, but it needs more knowledge, more optimization, better knowledge of big budgets and CBO, crazy method, and so on. With Advantage Plus, I think it's going to be easier for anyone to scale to 5K, 6K, 10K per day. With CBOs, it's much more difficult. It needs much more experience. So it really depends on the results that you get. But I think that I replied. Hi, if I want to do a campaign in broad, but I have several creatives who have a different marketing. What do you mean by different marketing? Different interests? It is a good idea to make a first campaign with a marketing angle, and let's say 3 creatives, and to make another campaign always in broad with the other marketing angle, 2 creatives, or is it useless? Is it better to put all the creatives inside the same campaign? I would put all of them in the same campaign. Don't forget that we have the tool of Advantage Plus Crazy Method, that you can take one of them that is working very well and put it as a crazy method. You can see my video. This is what I would do. I don't think that you should separate them. Let them compete with each other. Let the best win. And of course, if you see my videos and you know how to optimize the Advantage Plus, you can direct the spend to the best one. Next one. Thanks for the information. Sounds very interesting about the duplicating campaign for the purpose of scaling with a new budget higher from the first one. Do I switch interests or I keep the same interest? Thanks again for the message. Sounds very interesting about the duplicating campaign for the purpose of scaling with a new budget higher from the first campaign. Do I switch interests or I keep the same interest? And I reply same and optimize all over again. So what's the point of changing interest when you duplicate something that is working so that you can put a bigger budget to it? It doesn't make any sense. And he says, Konstantinos, it wouldn't, this is why I put it. It wouldn't interfere with the original campaign. It looks like to me, it looks to me like it will be a competition against myself if everything is the same but the budget. And I say, please Google and watch my crazy method video. Now, whoever is talking about competition with myself is just a very stupid thing that Facebook is pushing, that you are competing with your own ads. This is bullshit, guys. You're targeting 100 million people, 50 million people, whatever, in your different interests. And we cannot talk about competition with ourselves, because at the end of the day, I'm using the crazy method and everything else, and you can target different hot pockets. Even with the same ad set several times. If you see the crazy method video, you will understand that all of this is a myth, and the crazy method is working flawlessly, and you can see the comments below and understand that it is working for a lot of people. The thing is that saying that you're competing with yourself, it means that you don't understand how big are the numbers on Facebook. In order for you to compete with yourself, you need to spend millions in a very short period in order to compete with yourself. And I have videos that I spent 1 million and I show that over there it really makes sense, and even when you target cold with broad targeting, the frequency is rising and everything. You need to spend a lot of money in order to do that, and it's not happening. And at the end of the day, you will target different hot pockets with that. You will be able to optimize it all over again. So don't worry about competing with yourself, because there's a huge market there, so that you won't compete with yourself and a lot of people to target. Maybe you will target some 2 or 3 times, but it doesn't matter. Do you know why? Because all that matters is the ROAS. If the ROAS is good, then it doesn't matter. Can you edit placements inside a dynamic ad? For example, can I use one, he's talking about 16:9 image for stories and another file for one for feed. So he's referring to the normal ads that you can put different creative for the stories, different creative for the feed and stuff. No, you cannot do that with dynamic creative ads. What you should do though is that when you use one by one, you should look on the image so this is the image, let's say. On the top and bottom, it has these gaps over here that you need to not put any information, because in stories mode maybe it's going to be cut or not. So be careful with that. I think that Facebook in their page, they have the safe zones that you need to keep when you are using one placement that is going to be adjusted to all. Just search it, you will find it. Just put safe zones for Facebook creatives for feed and stories. Then we have Tim over here. Great idea. Quick question with regards to CRO. In your experience, does Facebook allow exit intent or time delayed pop-ups? They have proven to significantly increase conversion rates. I'm wondering though if this will put your ad account at risk. Many thanks. So Tim, first of all, it's not proven that they help conversion rates. It's how you use them, because I can see them in several accounts being super annoying. And of course, you're talking about the landing page. No, they're not helping a lot of times, and they're making situation even worse. But I can tell you that this has nothing to do with Facebook. Facebook is not penalizing any behavior like that. This has to do with the funnel and the optimization that you will do there. So do whatever you want as long as it's helping the conversion and it's not limiting your possibilities of converting, because Facebook is all about sending the traffic to the store. After that, it's about you and your funnel. So we have Thomas the Sniper. Hey Konstantinos, I started a testing product on a fresh account with open targeting, and I'm getting sales but not very consistent. Super typical with new pixels and everything. Starting, even especially with broad targeting, you will get some sales, lost it. Get some sales, lost it. It's all about being consistent. It's not by luck that I close all of my videos by saying be consistent. Would you recommend testing interest as well? The product, of course, I would recommend. As I said earlier in the things that we were discussing, yes, you need to tell if your broad targeting is not working at all, test your interest. If it's working a little bit, continue with relaunching. But yes, in most accounts, if you have interest to use, because several niches don't, use interests, then try to go to lookalikes, and then try to go eventually to broad. The product is pretty generic, so there is no specific niche. I can target other than specific demographics, so I thought it's best to keep targeting open. As long as it's working and it has sales, do it. Try to focus on creatives and try to do advanced flash or broad targeting, crazy method, however you're doing. Trying to lower the demographics if you're targeting only women, and that based on the analysis that you do, break down, see what kind of pages are working and break it down so that you can lower it a little bit, because the new pixels need smaller potential reach interests. And then the more you get the consistent results, start opening it more. Of course, the ultimate goal here is to go to lookalikes so that you can keep having consistent sales, and then train your pixels so that you can go to broad targeting again. If you don't have interests for a specific niche, I wouldn't target interests immediately. Because it's like targeting broad. I'm guessing that you're going to use super broad terms. Other than that, yeah, I think that I answered. Another guy, Zan. I got my personal Facebook account restricted with posts going to bottom of feeds for 30 days. Will this restriction apply to the 4 pages I manage and linked Instagrams? I've contacted Meta agents to ask this, but for some reason they can never give a clear answer and can find a specific topic on YouTube. And you will never find a specific topic on YouTube because nobody knows. Maybe they're going to restrict all of them, maybe one of them. It really depends. So Facebook used to ban people, not accounts, but people. So if they ban you personally, you're going to lose all of that. If they're just going to ban one page and not you personally as a personal account, most probably the other ones are going to be fine. I have seen business managers that they have bad rating in one page, so they create others and they run the ads from the other pages. The page got banned, the other ones still exist. So I think that you will be fine, unless if they're going to ban you personally, where they're going to hand you whatever you're going to do, even a new business manager. And then you will have to use your girlfriend, mother account, whatever. Then we go to Darwin. This is what I was talking about, the bad results on March. Hi everyone, just a quick question. Someone I know sets our ads for our business and they haven't made any changes to the campaign recently. Yet our cost per lead has doubled this week. Results have been poor over the last few weeks. Any suggestions will be greatly appreciated. So this is a normal thing that I see when things are going bad with Facebook. I see a lot of messages coming to me telling me that I have a problem and so on. So to be honest with you, there's nothing that you can do about it. But the sad truth is that you don't have the luxury of knowing it. Having a lot of accounts and understanding that this is happening globally, or having a friend or two that they tell you I have the same problem, or me having you guys coming and tell me I have this problem, I understand that the problem is general. But in your case, you don't have this luxury, and I know that there are a lot of people that are going to make a lot of mistakes in this period because they're not going to be patient or they're going to be afraid. But it is what it is, and this is how Facebook works. At the end of the day, all of these things that people do and they close ads and stuff, maybe it's helping Facebook to go back to a normal situation where less people advertise, so we can go back to normal results. And then back to bad results if a lot of people advertise and so on. So it makes total sense that when Facebook has a very good period, everybody tells to everybody, they come, they advertise, the results are becoming worse because of competition. And then when the results are bad, people are stopping ads and we are having good results again. It's all about being consistent, as I said, and having nerves of steel, watching the situation and try to maintain the best possible spend that you want based on this balance. So these things are happening all the time. What I would do is that I would wait as soon as you gather information for friends, for my podcast and stuff, that things are getting better, relaunch it, optimize it all over again. Then we have Tim. You're the best and most ethical Facebook ads channel on YouTube at the moment. Thank you. Well done, Konstantinos. I'm sure you will blow up soon. It's already going well. Thank you. Two quick questions, and I think that he's making three after that. When optimizing a CBO, oh no, it's just the title. CBO Crazy Method campaign. How do you determine the optimal starting budget if you have no spending limit? First of all, by experience, to be honest with you, I'm watching a little bit the cost per acquisition that I'm having in the account, what is possible. For example, can I get $20 cost per purchase in a campaign consistently? Okay, then I will try to put as many assets so that they can get that and a little bit more so that I can try to have some options to optimize. And after that point, I will start seeing, is it spending too fast? Is it spending too low? Does it take too much time to give me results? Do I need to make the process faster? If I need to make the process faster and the spending, I will remove one or two assets in my next relaunch of the campaign. If it's going too fast, I will add some assets so that I can distribute more of the budget between assets and try to find in a more smooth way the assets that I want to keep and to optimize. This is how I would define the budget. First you think the budget, then you think the assets that you're going to have, then you test it, and then eventually you see the numbers of this ad account. Each ad account has different numbers of budgets and assets. Also, I would try to see, does a CBO campaign of 200 works? Maybe it needs a smaller campaign of 100 and then optimize it and leave it with 50. There are a lot of things that you need to test. Whatever it makes sense, you keep. Of course, I never said that CBO optimization is easy. I have videos and stuff explaining it, and of course the course, but to be honest with you, it's taking time and a lot of effort and experience and spending money to the platform to master it. From some of my students, it's taking more than a year to reach to my level. Let's say, and then of course it's the talent which comes also, okay? Because it's not about only learning from Konstantinos, it's your personal talent and how you perceive things and your creativity. Then, let's say you are highly profitable on average from the start and you want to scale. How do you determine the new budget when duplicating the campaign? It's very simple. Um, since we're talking about CBO over here, by the way, in Advantage Plus, if you want to scale, you want to scale by duplicating or by increasing the budget because it's just one ad set and you can do so. In CBO, it's different. You cannot increase the budgets. I would keep them as they are. But what I would try to do is I would try to go with most of the times double the budget. So if I'm spending 100, I will go with 200. Then I will go with, if the 200 is working, with 500. Eventually, Facebook is not going to let you do well in some of these campaigns. So you're also seeing the limits of the CBO that you can spend. There are other accounts not because they are trained, but because they are spending for a lot period that you can do CBO campaigns with $2,000. And there are other accounts that you can do CBO campaign. You are doing CBO campaigns with $200 and they are not working well because they want just a lot with $100. So it really depends. You need to check and see if one of these new budgets and bigger budgets is going to work, if you can optimize how many assets you need in the new situation with 200 assets, if they go fast or slow, and so on and slow, and so on and so on. It's a process, team. And if you watch the video of the crazy method, I have the CBO optimization there. I have examples that I explain how it's working. Obviously, the main thing here is to keep campaigns as a base and move to the next one without touching the one that's already working. Let's go to Steve here. Are you stacking top 4 countries in one ad set for Advantage Plus or separate campaigns for each country? No, I don't. The reasons are two. First of all, they don't have the same potential reach. If you put United States with whatever else, most probably it's going to spend all the money on the United States because it's bigger. The countries are also working like the interests. The bigger they are, Facebook, it's easier to spend there, so it's going to spend more money there, unless if you put United States with Pakistan and India, which have lower CPM, so Facebook is going to go there. But if we talk about the top 4 countries, which of course we are referring to Australia, United States, United Kingdom, and Canada, that means that you should not group them together. Another thing that I don't like is the day of the hour that they said. Their prime hours are different. So what I would do is I would group, if I want, United States with Canada, which is not correct because of the first thing that I said. So I would do differently Canada and United States. At the end of the day, these are things that they help you scale, okay? And you should not approach these campaigns as they are as they are the same thing, or you should approach them as a different budget. The reset of the hour is different. For example, if you reset your ads at 12 o'clock United States and you're running ads also for Australia, they're going to reset in a bad time for the daily spend. Another thing is that the prime hours over there, they are not going to be the same as the prime hours on United States, which we know that after 5, 6, 7 o'clock up to 12 o'clock, it's the best hour of the day because people go back from work to home and so on. So these are the reasons that I wouldn't stack them together. I know that back in the days, some years ago, we were stacking them, but I wouldn't do it anymore for these reasons that I mentioned, especially for the situation that we have right now with United Kingdom easily alone, Canada easily alone, United States alone, and Australia alone. At the end of the day, it's going to be different campaigns that you're going to optimize differently. And as I said in my other videos, if your spends are high, I would even go with different pixels and different ad accounts for these countries for the reasons that I mentioned about the time zone and the time that the ads are going to reset. If you don't have the luxury of doing it, at least use them on different campaigns so that you can optimize them differently. Then we have Moreno Music. Hi bro, it's my first time in your channel. Thanks for the tips. Thank you, man. I have a few questions if you don't mind. What countries will you recommend me to target to get out of the learning phase on Facebook ads faster? I'm promoting a Latin song, Orban. Orban is the Prime Minister of Hungary, not Urban, on Spotify. How many ad sets should I do? And how much money per day should I spend? The learning phase has nothing to do with the country that you target. But since you talk about Latin, I would propose you to, a very fast way of targeting minorities in the United States, for example, is to put a broad targeting with Spanish, for example, as the language, the only thing that you will do. So we use the language as an interest. Or you can put Greek, for example, as a language if you target the Greek community in United States. I think that this is a very fast way for you to go into your target audience while you are not targeting a very huge audience. So this is my suggestion to you. The learning phase has nothing to do with the country that you target. You should, and we already touched on the things about the countries in the different question. Next one. Hello Konstantinos, quick question for you. You said in a video that some of your clients with very big accounts can get CPMs in the US as low as 5. Yes, I'm showing these accounts on several videos. Is it due to their ad account history or their page? Both maybe. My website would be a cash machine with such cost. I understand. It's not because of that. The specific account that I have in my mind right now, it's in the niche of Christianity. In the previous March or April, I don't remember, we had the removal of all the Christian, of all the LGBTQ interest, Christian interest, everything. So at that point, it became a cartel. So whoever had a lot of data in this niche, Christianity or whatever, and they had a trained pixel, right now they don't have new entries, new competition. And even if they have, this new competition is going to spend a lot of money, and it's going to do it with spending or having other ways of getting organic traffic, training the pixel, and then targeting again. So it's better from the people that they're going to be dropshippers or whatever, and they're going to work. And the Christianity is a very popular niche that right now is being underserved because of that. So they have very low CPMs because the pixel is trained. There are no interest for new players to come and target into this market. And basically, they are controlling the market, and there are how many companies there are with trained pixels, and it's only them. No new people coming. Because even if one dropshipper, two dropshippers, three dropshippers with $10, $20, $50, $30 per day come, all of this together, the new people, they are still competition. It's not the same to have a trained pixel in the Christian niche and a trained pixel in the dog niche. It's not the same at all. And in the dog niche, you're having the new competition, the new people that are coming, and it's one of the, or travel niche or whatever, it's one of the niches that is being heavily advertised. So this is the reason that we are seeing lower CPMs. And it has nothing to do with the page. It has nothing to do with anything else, but it's due to the fact that we have a niche which cannot be targeted by new players in the game, but only from trained pixels, and they have, let's say, a sort of monopoly. We have Thomas the Sniper again. Hey Konstantinos, I have an issue with daily spending limits, so maybe you could give me some advice. Facebook keeps churning my daily limit from day to day. So for example, 3 days ago, I was able to spend 130, the next day 50, next day 85, and today 50 again. Support won't help me either, so is there nothing that can be done here? Best wishes, Thomas. So Thomas, first of all, I would like to know if you're running ads with cost caps or whatever, because if you do, you are not going to spend all the money. You're going to spend as much as Facebook wants. So if you run with cost caps or value optimization or whatever, then of course you're not going to spend. And the way that you say it here, maybe it means that. Secondly, I would like to say that, and the only reason that I think that maybe you also have problem with the limit, but not in such pattern. Most probably you have cost caps. I have seen in one account starting with an open limit, and then some days later coming and saying 50 per day. And to be honest with you, you can do nothing about the limit because it's not in your hand. Even if you contact the customer support and stuff, they're just going to increase your limit whenever they feel that you are not a threat for the community, which means that you have to be a good boy, do normal ads, not rejected ads, and pay your bills in time. So based on that, if you have problems with your spending limit, there's nothing to do. Nobody can do anything to you. It's going to be increased, and you cannot increase it through customer support. Back in the days, there are times that I was contacting customer support. I was telling them that I want to increase it. They were watching some data and they were increasing it. Now they don't even do that. Then we go to, I would say, just Trivedi. Purvans, Trivedi, I don't know. Do I have to create a new Advantage Plus campaign every time I want to test a new creative, or can I add them into the existing campaign? Will that screw the algorithm? Not the algorithm, but your campaign. You cannot add new creatives inside an Advantage Plus campaign because the Advantage Plus has already been focusing all the budget to one or two or three ads, and it's not fair for the others. So if you have a budget of $500 and you're spending $450, $460, $480 on the main leading ads, you cannot put other ads there because it's not going to spend them. You have to do a new campaign with your new creatives, or relaunch this one with a new creatives, whatever, but it's not fair and you're not going to test them properly. Another thing, unless if you go and you close all of them and you put some new ones, but I don't see the reason of doing that. For example, I create one Advantage Plus campaign and I keep adding ads into that for testing purposes. No, this is something that people were doing in ABO campaign stuff, and I'm still against that. After a couple of days, I take the winners and duplicate them into the other campaign and just keep adding. And why you should not keep this campaign that has winners and do another campaign with the new ones? I don't understand your way of thinking. Or should I create a whole new campaign every time for testing, a new campaign for scaling? Yeah, the second one. So I think that I replied. We go to Felipe Caceres. Hey, this is an awesome video, man. Thank you. I set up the first Advantage Plus campaign as you suggested. How would you scale the budget of the first campaign before duplicating it? For example, I set my Advantage Plus campaign on 60 per day. It has now been 7 full days and it's above my break-even ROAS. Would you suggest a budget 20% each 7 days, or double it, etc.? Thank you. So, several ways of doing it. First of all, the 20% that he's referring to is the ABO optimization. Facebook says that if you pass the learning phase and you have and you increase the budget every 7 days or every 2-3 days on 20%, and this is not going to mess up your learning phase. The thing is that you spend only 6 per day. What I would do is that I think that you still have possibility of increasing it. I wouldn't do by 20% per day, to be honest with you. I don't believe that with 60 per day you're passing the learning phase, but anyway, I would do 100 in order to see if it can support it. Don't forget that you can always launch it if it's going to break. Another thing is that the Advantage Plus is a campaign that, because it's focusing on 1 or 2 ads, you can increase the budget just like that, so it's not a problem like a CBO campaign. And I wouldn't like to run an Advantage Plus with 60. I think it's very slow, so I would increase it. Now, I wouldn't care so much about the 20%. I would care more about understanding and learning the ad account and knowing how much I can do. And then the other thing that you can see is this: what kind of ROAS do I get? If I want 2 ROAS and I'm getting 3 ROAS, that means that I can increase. If I'm getting 2.1 ROAS, I wouldn't increase at all. I would leave it just like this. I would duplicate the campaign, run it all over again. So it really depends also on the ROAS that you're getting, and if they're good or bad, and if you can increase or not. It really depends on the ROAS, to be honest with you. But even in a duplication campaign, I would try with 100 this time, just so that I can establish a higher starting budget. Then another one. I spent hours watching your videos, your YouTube videos, and I have to say you're the best I have watched. Oh, thank you. I'm trying the crazy method for the first time today. I would like to ask a question. I have a fantastic campaign, Advantage Plus campaign, running with 10.9 ROAS. Good for you. I would like, that means that you can scale, basically. It's not good for you. It means that you're losing potential, but okay. I would like to duplicate the ad set, but I'm unable to, as Advantage Plus does not allow me to do this. You cannot duplicate an ad set. Advantage Plus is running with only one ad set, of course. What is the best way to scale up a successful Advantage Plus? For info, the successful campaign only has one ad running, which is doing very well. Thanks so much and keep up the good work. So, everything else that they say about scaling Advantage Plus cannot work here, but I have a video which we do Advantage Plus Crazy method. You duplicate your ad several times inside, 10, 15. You keep the same budget, you keep the same structure, everything in your Advantage Plus, and this time you go deep inside how to learn to optimize with Advantage Plus by watching all of my videos. I think you should watch them and learn how to optimize, because it's a little bit, you just need to understand it, okay? So try to see my video about the crazy method Advantage Plus, and in general all my Advantage Plus videos, because you have 10.9 ROAS, you don't use the full potential of your account, you can scale more. It's better to have, it's better to spend 100,000 with 3 ROAS instead of spending 10.9 ROAS with, instead of having 10.9 ROAS with only spending 5K. Next question. Are these accounts are these accounts where Advantage Plus isn't working? Is Advantage Plus so to start? There are other accounts that Advantage Plus is not working. Yes. In most accounts it is working. It has lower CPMs. The problem is on new ad accounts. On new ad accounts, maybe you have problems because it's broad targeting, and maybe you have to go to CBO and interest. In my opinion, you should have a balance between CBO and Advantage Plus, unless if Advantage Plus has crazy results, and then it doesn't matter, you just do Advantage Plus campaigns. But yes, in some new accounts it can be slow because of the fact that it's broad targeting. You should go through the traditional way of interest, lookalikes, then broad targeting, crazy method, and even Advantage Plus. But even when the lookalikes are going to work, I would start using Advantage Plus, even if it's dying fast and I have to relaunch it all the time, because it has lower CPMs. And of course, then you have to look on not doing retargeting and so on, because Advantage Plus still solves the retargeting. I think we covered a lot Advantage Plus today. Last question. Hey Konstantinos, thank you so much for your wisdom. My mind is blown. Thank you, man. We're an artisanal jewelry company and have been loving Advantage Plus campaigns since we first jumped on board in December. You're not the only one. What we realized though is that after making the first campaign, we never set an existing customer budget cap. We have a very strong remarketing funnel through email and SMS, so we primarily want to use Facebook ads for acquisition with a bit of content marketing to continue warming up audiences. Do you recommend using the feature? And if so, what is the minimum percentage you'd recommend? I'm worried Facebook might be allocating way too much budget to existing customers. Thank you so much in advance. Thank you, Lotus Sky. So, the truth is that Advantage Plus is stealing a lot of sales from retargeting. This is a fact. We know it. We have seen it with direct links that we have, with other ways and everything. We have seen it that when we have a lot of Advantage Plus and we do retargeting is not working properly and so on. What I want to say to this is that you should not care about that. Because even if it's stealing sales from retargeting and these sales are being used so that you can acquire more cold traffic customers and purchases, then it is fine. This is something that I can easily live with, the same way that I can live with doing automatic placements if the results are better, even if Facebook is stealing some money in the process. I'm fine with it. So let it take all the sales if it wants. Don't do retargeting. If you still want to do retargeting, be okay with the fact that Advantage Plus is going to steal some sales here and there, and it's going to use it as data in order to find more cold traffic audience. Now, I'm just saying that so that you should not be worried about that. Okay. Also, yesterday I answered to your comment and I told you to watch the podcast. So most probably you had to watch all of this, to find your answer. Sorry, but you were the last question at that point. The other thing that I have to say is that he's referring to there is a feature. It's not in all accounts yet, by the way. There is a feature for Advantage Plus that you can say, because they have listened to all of this whining about Advantage Plus stealing sales from retargeting, we want only cold traffic, which I'm against. But Facebook said, okay, we're going to put a feature that we're going to say that you are not going to retarget X amount of, or maybe I think it says you're going to target only this percentage of existing customers, something like that. Most of the settings that I have seen is 50-50. So they put 50%, they say I want to target only the 50% of my existing customers. Then we have the rules that we always have of 80% new customers, 20% retargeting or 70-30 retargeting. So these are also percentages that you can use. In my opinion, I'm not using it. If you want to use it because you have a very sophisticated way of retargeting, I would even do 100%. But don't be amazed that your results are going to drop. Maybe you should try play a little bit with this percentage in order to see what is the good balance. I would start with 30% and then try to move my way up to 50% to see if it's working. Yeah, this is what I would do. But at the end of the day, in my accounts, I'm not even touching it when I see it because I'm okay with Facebook stealing some sales in order to get me more cold traffic sales. Let it steal, it's fine. Let's go to Freelancer Diaries. I have 3 things here. First of all, we have Facebook advertising genius needed. When you see genius, wizard, how is the other one? Super Saiyan or whatever, there is a problem. It says, hi there, I need someone good at optimizing Facebook ads to improve performance. If you're not a genius at Facebook marketing, I need you to at least be a smart pants. All jokes aside, here's my problem. What's used to cost me 22 for a message ad on Facebook, he doesn't say when, maybe this is on 2015, okay, is now costing us 43 per message. Maybe it's because of February, March, and what happened. I own a personal training fitness company, so I need local leads for people with money to spend on personal training. Everybody wants to target people with money. Okay, I can't seem to figure out why costs are up, so I need someone help with fixing the issue and improve quality leads. Now, the reason that I'm putting this on Freelancer Diaries is because of the way that he's writing it, and because of the smarty pants, of course. But most probably, asking someone that, hey, I have 1 ROAS and I want 2 ROAS, it's difficult. Asking somebody taking your cost per message from 43 to 22, it's kind of difficult. And even if it's a genius or Einstein or whatever, most probably it's not going to happen unless if it is seasonal. Because there are a lot of times that somebody comes to your account, it's not working because he's unlucky, he's in a bad period, and then somebody else comes, he's doing exactly the same things, it's working because he was fortunate enough to work in a period that Facebook was doing well. Then we go to the next one. Optimize a Facebook ads for higher conversion. Local moving company looking for an experienced, and I put all of this in Freelancer Diaries just to show also that in Upwork we have this trend of very expensive ads, which means that everybody almost struggled in the period of March. To be honest with you, there was only 5-6 days for the good pixels. Local moving company looking for an experienced Facebook ad specialist to help us optimize our campaign for higher conversions. We're currently at $10 per conversion Facebook message and would like to get closer to 1-2. This is even worse. He wants to get from $10 to 1-2. Which most probably is not going to happen. And he says, the job will include researching and setting optimal target audiences for ads, setting Facebook ad settings, and doing any other work necessary to make ads run more efficiently. To be honest with you, I think that these people are always getting scammed because it's like you are asking for somebody. So let's go also to the next one. It says, Facebook ad expert need to help get CPA under $1 for middle gravel novel. So it's like you're asking, I'm posting this job and I'm looking for the best scammer in the world that is going to convince me that what am I asking is possible to happen, and I'm looking for the best liar who is going to serve it very well to me so that I can believe him, pay him, scam me along the way, and not telling me the truth that this is not possible. And I guess with this crazy job posts that they are asking earth and water, we're going to close the podcast. I feel, how much time do we do? 79. Okay. I tried to go as fast as I could. So I think I did well. Based on how many questions we had, I think I did well. I'm exhausted. My throat is hurting. I will see you guys in the next podcast. Most probably we're going to talk about pixels there, and because they're going to be removed in the API, but we will see. Be creative, be consistent. Let me know if you have any questions on the comments, and I will see you in the next one. This was the Facebook Ads Breaking News Podcast. Like it or not, it is what it is.